Hello and welcome to your Tiffin University postseason preview. I'm Matt Kibler, Assistant Sports Information Director at Tiffin University. Today we're going to take a look at postseason play for the Tiffin University lacrosse team, the softball team, and the women's tennis team. We'll sit down with head coach Erica Brown of the lacrosse team, head coach Jeff Nickerson of the softball team, and then Phil Conley, the Tiffin University tennis coach here at Tiffin University. I'm joined by head lacrosse coach Erica Brown. Coach, how are you?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
Very good. Let's go ahead and give a short recap of this past season. 10-7 overall, 6-1 in conference play, and just give the people an idea of the players that stood out to you on both sides of the ball.
It was a great season for us. We started out a little rough. We had a couple one-goal losses, a couple overtimes or on the verge of going to overtime, and we definitely matured kind of throughout the season. Went on a decent 9-win game streak. And then, as soon as conference started, really were able to kind of gel together. Some girls that really stood out to me. Defensively, I think Shannon Lubin. Not a lot of stats, but Shannon has just been so solid on the ride, on the clear. Great one defender. She really kind of proved herself this year. Amanda Flatteron on the attacking end, great goal line attacker. Again, solid Emily Roussel performance. Gina Ablone has just been a feeder left and right, which is awesome.
I noticed a lot of draw controls going your way as well.
Oh yeah, it was great. Absolutely great. I caught myself. Tori Nelson. Tori has been absolutely phenomenal on the draw for us. I think she's very mature in kind of how she's looking at the draw. If she's not getting done, we can put Katie Hill in there, and then Emily Roussel's taken a couple of draws for us, but Tori has just been so steady between the 30s for us.
Yeah, Tori Nelson with 83 draws, second in the conference, and then between the pipes, you've got Bombard as always.
Yeah. Bombard, just really has turned it on this year for us. Kind of going in this weekend, we're playing Findlay on Friday. She didn't have her best game the first time we played Findlay, but she still had 16 saves. But she's just been very solid, just definitely our leader back there on the defensive end. And
we'll transition into that Findlay game. You beat them 22-16 your first time. Maybe not the defensive performance you wanted, but offensively, that's 22 goals, you'll take it. But what are you going to work on this time to maybe slow down their offensive attack?
They have a very good attack in Kira Bradley and Sarah Langton, so kind of this week we've been focusing on how they're playing, in regards to how they like to shoot, how they like to get their hands free. But we were also kind of focusing on our help defense, slides, crashes, sticks and passing lanes. So defensively, we're just really trying to figure it out, talking-wise, and all the little stuff.
That game's on Friday, correct? What time and where's that one going to be played at?
Well, you think we played here, but we're actually playing at Grand Valley. The game's at 4 o'clock.
Okay, so it'll be up at Grand Valley, and then if you were to win, moving forward from that game, who would be your next opponent beyond that?
Knock on wood, we're actually the first game, and then the second game of Friday night is between McHenry and Grand Valley. I think McHenry will actually give Grand Valley a run for their money. They had a great game yesterday against Lake Erie, who was actually a higher seed, and they actually won 19-9. So it'll be a very interesting second game on Friday.
She's head coach Erica Brown. I'm Matt Kibler, and this has been a preview of Tiffin University lacrosse. If you want, you can head up there, follow the Dragons as they take on Findlay this Friday, root them on to a victory, and then they'll move on hopefully throughout the tournament. Coach, thanks for sitting down with us, and I appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.
Head softball coach Jeff Nickerson, as his team has made the GLIAC tournament. They'll be taking on, playing in Findlay, Ohio this Friday. They'll be taking on Wayne State. Coach, how are you?
Doing great. How are you today?
Very good. Let's go ahead and look back at your season. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the players you thought stood out this season.
Well, I don't know if one really particularly stood out that much. I think Kimmy Reynolds, as a freshman, came in and did a great job. She got National Pitcher of the Week, National Player of the Week for the conference, which was some big accolades for a freshman coming in. She was really strong for a while. She's kind of struggled the last 4 or 5 starts that she's had. But we look forward to her turnaround and coming back. She's just one of many kids who have done some great things. Allie Rock, who come in as a freshman catcher, really stood out and was doing a really good job for a while and then kind of tailed off. So we've had players kind of go ups and downs throughout the year, do really well, then not do so well. Jenna King was on fire there for quite a long stretch, and then she's kind of tapered off, and then she kind of come back. So, we really haven't had that consistent player who's been consistent, every week in, week out that we could just turn and count on. It's just been kind of like different people stepping up, doing different things at different times. Michelle Poe, who was our transfer from Purdue University, has come in, and battled really well. I think that she's the type of player that the more at-bats that she gets, the better a player that she is. But, she's not been that consistent player either to kind of want to keep her in the lineup. But the more that she's in the lineup, obviously she does a better job at the end of the day, hitting that grand slam against Saginaw Valley last week to, win us the game was extremely important. And I knew that she had that in her all year long. I just think kind of down the stretch here, the seniors have kind of tightened up a little bit as far as their play has gone, because they kind of seen the possibility of not making that conference tournament be right at the edge, and we just didn't play comfortable, and we didn't lead, as a seniors at a comfortable level either, and it really kind of tightened up the whole team. And but I really do look now that we've made it to the tournament. I feel that all 8 teams that are in that tournament, anybody can win that, because it's very obvious to me that I know that we can beat anybody that we face.
And with your team now seeing they have made it, do you anticipate them loosening up, playing better? We saw, we were there for the not the Grand Valley, but the Wayne State series, and it was right there. It was for the taking, and it just seemed like you said they tightened up there at the end with that last out to go. They just couldn't get it. Do you anticipate your team now loosening up and playing the softball they can?
I believe they can. Practice this week, obviously, we've been really light with finals and stuff going on, and especially for the seniors now, they got nothing left to worry about. And for all the kids too, there's just nothing. There's no more schoolwork. There's no more papers. There's no more, final presentations that I got to get done or study for this test or that. So I really feel that they know that they should have that confidence, as well as we played there. About mid-year, 3/4 of the way through, where we actually stood, half a game out of first place. That we are actually a really good team. Maybe a little young, maybe a little out of character sometimes, that we don't have the discipline at the plate. We've kind of gotten away from that, and we've really been stressing that this week in practice, and just doing a lot of small group practices and really talking to them more about their discipline at the plate and the lack of focus, I guess that you could say, that at the plate. So if we can turn those things around, I know that we're a really good team.
Well, the Dragons will be taking on Wayne State this Friday at 10 a.m. You can catch that game. We have live audio for it, myself and Russ Snyder. You can catch that at tudragonradio.com. The best of luck, Coach. Go get them. We'll be there to cheer you on.
Well, we appreciate that. We look forward to having you guys there.
Thank you. Head tennis coach Phil Conley. Coach, how are you?
Doing great. Thank you very much.
Coach, let's go ahead and talk about the women's side here. They're going to be heading to postseason play in Indianapolis. Let's look back at the season, talk about some of the highlights and some of the players you thought stood out.
Definitely. We've had a spectacular season. Our record right now is 19-10, and we played a lot of tough teams on spring break. We played Palm Beach, Atlantic, Florida Tech, teams that are top 30 in the nation, and we did that, purposely to be able to prepare for this match against Drury, which is another top team in the nation. But we had a lot of standout players. Caroline Nelhage, my number 1 player, she's top 40 in the nation. That's a first for Tiffin University to have a nationally ranked player such as her. I think she's only lost maybe 4 or 5 matches. She was an ITA semifinalist. So we expect big things out of her coming in against the match against Drury. And the team as a whole, have competed really, really well. Bianca Avram, which was a transfer from the University of Toledo, and Caroline Harpainter, transfer from the University of Akron, have really added to the depth of our team.
Let's go ahead and talk about this postseason play coming up in Indianapolis. You've got a tough region. Let's talk about just the region as a whole, and then let's go ahead and look at your opponent, Drury.
Definitely, it's pretty awesome to see actually the GLIAC get 5 of the 7 teams. 7 teams have been selected for regional play, and 5 of those teams come from the GLIAC, and that just shows how strong our conference is. And we're going to be competing against one of the best teams out of the GLVC. In fact, they were the finalists of their conference tournament. They lost to Indianapolis. So Indianapolis is going to be hosting as the 2 seed, and we get a chance to play against Drury, who's traditionally the best team in that traditionally the best team in our region. So I feel good about our chances playing against this team. but you know they're 20-2 and you know a very respectable opponent. So if we're going to be able to beat a team like this, we got to go out from the get-go at doubles and be able to, you know, pull out maybe 2, maybe even sweep doubles, and that'd be a spectacular way to start it.
So go ahead and let the folks know when you'll be playing, where it is, and then of course you're playing Drury.
Yep, we're going to be playing this Saturday. Start time should be 10 a.m. Hopefully I'll be able to get that information today from the host site. It's going to be in Indianapolis May 2nd. So if we win that match, we'll be playing the Sunday against the winner between Indianapolis and Ferris State.
Now, is this a double elimination, single elimination, or how does that work?
It's single elimination, so we definitely, you know, when we go out there, we got to play every ball like it's our last, because it could be.
You heard it here from Coach Conley. The women will be in action this coming weekend. Go ahead and check out GoTiffinDragons.com. You can follow along with all the Tiffin University tennis action. Coach, thank you.
Thank you very much.